From the Arizona Daily Star and Tucson.com, this is the Wildcast.
So the Arizona men's tennis team, they have to play the Triple H theme song, right? When they walk out before taking on Boise State in Tucson for the first round of the NCAA Tournament Regional. Like, that's some intense music right there. And it's going to be intense this weekend in Tucson when the Arizona men's tennis team hosts Boise State in the first round of the NCAA Tournament. Here to talk about this awesome matchup is our good buddy and head coach of the Wildcats, Clancy Shields. Coach, good morning to you. How's it going?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on.
So, Arizona hosting the NCAA Tournament for the first time in program history. When you hear that, what goes through your mind, Coach?
Yeah, I mean, that's something that you dreamed about when you took this job, is that maybe one day we could host this tournament, the NCAA championships here, and then, when it happened yesterday, then you start visualizing, can we have 1,000+ people in the stands and going crazy and making this an incredible experience for our student athletes. But it is I really thought we were going to get it last year. It was a kick in the gut when we were, ranked 16 in the country and they didn't give it to us. And then this year to get it was, a little bit of a relief, but also exciting because it's been, really 5 months of hard work by our guys to get to this point.
Why do you think this year you guys earned the right to host the NCAA tournament as opposed to last year? What do you think was the biggest difference about your club this season?
Well, I think we were consistent all year long. I mean, I think we're one of the only teams that has – I think we have 16 or 17 wins over top 75 teams. We had 12 wins over top 50 teams. I mean, the Pac-12 is sending 7 teams to the NCAA tournament. We only have 9 men's teams. So I think our league was strong. I think we had a really good resume. We went on the road and had some good wins. And, I think the people on the committee recognize that we have an elite squad, and to come in as the 14th seed is a really cool thing. And now we got to go back it up.
Is your club known as the Saguaro Soldiers?
Yeah, I don't know. That was our slogan. It was kind of I think 4 or 5 years ago. Our staff was just sitting around and we were looking at these cactuses outside my office, and we're like, "What are those?" And they're like, "Oh, they're called saguaros." And they're like, Saguaro Soldiers. And I was like, all right, let's run with it. And, it seemed like every team had like a theme, it's a players program and made for it. And it was hard edge over in football at the time. And, everybody kind of had their slogan. We're like, man, let's just run with it. It probably won't pick up any steam, but then people started using it and you're like, all right, cool.
Well, Arizona football's current slogan is "It's personal." Or I think now it's evolved over time. Now I think it's "Make it personal" or something like that. But it all started with "This is personal" with Jed Fish. And this first round matchup of the NCAA tournament is very personal for you because not only are you playing against your alma mater, but you're playing against your brother, Luke Shields, who's the head coach of the Broncos. So what can you tell us just about that matchup and how personal it is for you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when I saw on the selection show yesterday and saw, yes, we're hosting, and then I saw that we're playing my brother's team and my alma mater, it was some mixed emotions. I was so happy for our team and our guys, and then I'm super happy for my brother's team. I mean, in his first year at Boise State, they won the conference. I mean, they're having a dream season. They have a good team, and obviously really, really happy and supportive of him. But yeah, I think it's one of these things. It was pretty funny because at the end of it, my phone was blowing up with family members joking, and they're all coming to town, and it's kind of going to become like a family reunion. All my family, my 5 siblings, my parents, everyone's driving it or coming into town. And for Luke, I tried calling him about 2 hours later, and he was avoiding me, so I just kept texting him, "You avoiding me, man? What's going on?" And we finally connected last night, but. No, it's good. I mean, it's really fun. It's really fun. You never want to go up against your brother, but at the same sense, hey, we've got work to do. Our team is really laser focused on making a deep run in the NCAA tournament, and we got a heck of a team in Boise State coming in here, and they're really hot, and we're gonna have to play well.
So, what was the Shields household like growing up with you and Luke?
Well, Luke was 2 years older than me, and so. He always beat me in pretty much everything growing up until I got bigger, and then I started beating him. And honestly, I mean, it it was one of these things where, Luke was always the number 1 or 2 player in the country in the juniors, and I was, always traveling to play up in, age divisions higher because my parents couldn't afford to send us to separate places. And so I really kind of just grew up watching my brother play. And then, when it came time for me to go to, for him to go to school, I asked him, I said, Luke, would you mind taking a gap year? Like, I don't have anyone to practice with, to train with, no one to coach me. And he ended up taking a gap year and not going to school for a year to help me. And then, when he ended up going to school, I ended up following him to Boise State to play with him on the team there. And so, yeah, man, he's about as loyal as can be. I mean, a true friend of, the epitome of an unbelievable brother and teammate. And so yeah, man, it's bittersweet to go up against him, but I'll tell you what, he's one of the most competitive dudes ever. We'll anytime we see each other, we're competing in any game possible. So I'm sure on Friday when we play them, there's gonna be fireworks and hopefully we're not going at each other too hard.
So tennis was that one thing that really bonded you guys together. Were there any other things that you guys did together?
Well, I mean, really everything. I mean, we shared a bedroom till about 16. I mean, we did. We had 5 kids. You don't have they didn't make houses that big back then, so we had bunk beds. We shared we had a paper out together when we grew up. He would go to the right side of our house. I'd go to the left. We do our paper out in the morning. We practice together. We travel together. I mean, it has really been somebody I've been attached to the hip with, for my whole life. And then, when it's got into this coaching thing, I mean, we've both been coaches for the last 15, 16 years, and we talk every single day, and we go on recruiting trips together. So it is, it's a really a blessing to have your best friend as a part of what you're doing each and every day, and then to be able to do it together is really special.
And where did you guys grow up?
We grew up in Grand Junction, Colorado.
Okay. What was life like in Grand Junction, Colorado? How would you describe it to someone from Tucson, Arizona?
Well, we didn't have any indoor courts when we were growing up. And so, as you can imagine, in the winter, it snows a lot. So anytime it would snow, Luke and I, we would be out there shoveling the snow off the court before it would freeze over. And, we basically go from our paper out to, practicing before school. And then when school was over, we would practice together again. And, it was a really good spot. I mean, I love growing up there, but it certainly wasn't that conducive for tennis. Because it's a winter haven, but we made it work. I think it certainly helped us get tougher, and as we kind of got into tennis more seriously, we traveled quite a bit more and moved to different places. But Grand Junction's a tough, hard-nosed town, and certainly it isn't built for tennis players for sure.
Arizona men's tennis coach Clancy Shields joining Spears and Ali on ESPN Radio. So, Coach, you played at Boise State from 2005 to 2008, and at that time, Boise State football, up-and-coming program, they had the big win in the Fiesta Bowl. What was it like being a student-athlete at Boise State during that time?
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, I remember my first year there, we won the Fiesta Bowl against Oklahoma. And, those were a lot of the people that you lifted weights with, you rubbed shoulders with, you lived in the dorms with. I mean, Kellen Moore lived just a few doors down from us in the dorms. I mean, it was a really cool time. I mean, our football team went 50-3 while I was going to school there. And I think for us as a tennis team, and we got to 9 in the country, we were usually a top, 15 team each and every year. And so it was one of the things where we always competed with those guys, like who's the top team on campus. And they were awesome. They were fun to watch and certainly put that whole university on the map. And that's, when you talk about college athletic programs being the front porch of the university, I mean, Boise State football really put the university on the map. The enrollment, almost went up 7,000 or 8,000 people. And so it was really fun to be kind of on the ground floor of that. And then to see the rise in the program, and not only the football program, but each and every program kind of rose from there. But, Boise's a special place, and it reminds me a lot of Tucson. I mean, I think Tucson, they're both college towns. They're, the people really get behind their sports teams, and certainly I see a lot of similarities between the two.
So you have the Boise State Broncos coming up on Friday, and that's a big-time matchup. But then if you win that one, you'll face Florida, Oklahoma State on Saturday. So you have big teams waiting for you on the other side. But how do relay the message to your team to stay locked in the moment, take care of Boise State, and what's your overall message to your club going into this weekend?
Just, to have no regrets. I think to go out there and play the way you want to and play for each other and play for our seniors. And, to me, quite honestly, I mean, the last couple of weeks, I think we've really been protecting, trying to get the host side, trying to win the conference championship. And it's like, man, I just told our team, it's not that much fun trying to protect something. Let's go attack this tournament. Let's see how far we can take it, have no regrets when we're done. And certainly, I mean, we got Florida coming in here. I mean, they won the national championship 2 years ago. They have a lot of guys from that team. Their coaching staff is phenomenal. Oklahoma State's a really good team. I mean, we have a lot. It's a really tough regional, and certainly Boise State is the only thing we're thinking about right now. But if we're fortunate to get past that, we're going to have our hands full. And I think what's going to make the difference is trying to fill as many seats as we can in the Robeson Tennis Center. I mean, we are 39-1 in the last 3 years at home. I mean, that's a pretty good record. So we like our chances. But I think part of that is we have some incredible fans who've come out and supported us and made that a loud and raucous environment. And so we're inviting everybody out. It's $5 to attend. There's parking on the mall. We're gonna make this an absolute party and an unbelievable event. And really, it's the first time we've ever done it. So come be a part of history. Come help us punch our ticket to the Sweet 16. And I'd love to see 1,000+ people out there.
And then Arizona wins, and all the Wildcat fans chant, "Clancy's better." Man, go ahead.
I think my record's like 6-1 coaching against Luke, so let's keep that rolling. We want to keep adding to the win column.
Clancy Shields, Arizona men's tennis head coach, joining Spears and Ali on ESPN Tucson. For the first time ever, the Arizona men's tennis program is hosting the first round of the NCAA tournament. Got Boise State on Friday and potentially Florida or Oklahoma State on Saturday, but got to take care of business on Friday. Coach, thank you so much for your time, and best of luck to you and your Wildcats this weekend.
Thank you. Appreciate it, guys. Fair down.
Thanks, Clancy. All right, stick around. More Spears and Ali coming up next.